This week, Eddie Murphy is large and in charge as Sherman and the rest of his family in The Nutty Professor 2, The Clumps.
Alec Baldwin and Peter Fonda guide Thomas in the Magic Railroad.
Clint Eastwood, Tommy Lee Jones, James Garner, and Donald Sutherland are space cowboys.
By the way, congratulations, Mr. Clump.
She's so polite. Hey, look here, Denise. You're going to have to stop that Mr. Clump stuff, all right? Because I've been hearing that for the last year or so, and I'm starting to feel old. I ain't no old man.
You is an old man.
Eddie Murphy plays all 5 members of the Clump family, plus 2 other roles in Nutty Professor 2, The Clumps, a sequel to his popular 1996 comedy. It's one of 5 new movies we'll be reviewing this week. I'm Richard Roper, columnist for the Chicago Sun-Times.
And I'm Roger Ebert, film critic for the Chicago Sun-Times. I wonder sometimes if people realize how good Eddie Murphy really is. In Nutty Professor 2, The Clumps, he went through 5 hours of makeup a day to create the characters of Professor Sherman Clump, Mama and Papa Clump, Grandma Clump, Ernie Clump, and Papa Clump when he was a younger Clump. As the film opens, Sherman has discovered a new formula promising eternal youth.
All right, Buster. Abundanza.
Jiminy freaking cricket!
That's Larry Miller as Sherman's boss, the university president. Sherman's girlfriend in the movie is played by Janet Jackson as a fellow scientist who is in love with the shy guy, but turned off whenever Buddy Love takes over the professor's personality.
I got a craving for some red fruit punch.
Red fruit punch. I ain't seen none in the house, but up there I seen some out in the refrigerator, out in the garage.
Oh, there may be some in the garage. Well, after I quench my thirst, I'm gonna come give you a dance. One like that. Have me moving.
I like that.
You like that, man?
Yeah, that's like Soul Train. That's the feel like loca.
Nigga in his face, yeah, like I'm on, like I'm tan.
Oh, good Lord.
You like that?
Oh, my
You
goodness
like
Lord.
Don't move now.
Makeup wizard Rick Baker worked with Murphy to create the Clump family, and thanks to advanced digital special effects, they're able to create scenes in which almost every character is played by Murphy.
All right, everybody, Sherman, get ready to come on TV now. Everybody gather around.
Watch out there. You know fame's gonna pass. And the only thing that's permanent is family. Ain't that right, Daddy?
Get your butt out of my chair. How many damn times, Ernest, I gotta tell you stay out my damn chair?
Oh,
you work on
man.
them cars all day, go put the grease all in my chair, smear the grease in there.
Right.
I gotta sit on this grease. My gray pants still got grease all over because of you.
You happy you got your
Stay out my
chair?
damn
Enjoy.
chair, please, Ernest.
Nutty Professor 2, The Clumps, has some very big laughs in it, a lot of them involving body language. I love that, for example, when Buddy Love's DNA is split off from Sherman's and accidentally combined with the dog's. Eddie Murphy does so many different kinds of things so well in this movie, you almost take them for granted, but the one thing you don't overlook is that he makes you laugh. This is a funny movie. A word to parents, though, the PG-13 rating seems a little mild for a movie that involves sex with a hamster.
A giant, scary hamster.
Yes, yes.
You know, there are a lot of things about this movie I didn't like, because I thought they could have given him a better story. I'd like to know a little bit more about Buddy Love. But you're right. I mean, I give it thumbs up, too, because of Eddie Murphy. He's so good. The special effects are seamless. I think it's great that you mentioned Rick Baker and the makeup and everything. You're watching Eddie Murphy play an elderly woman or a middle-aged couple, and you never think, oh, gosh, there goes Eddie. You start actually being touched sometimes by some of the scenes with the little romance going on with Sherman's parents. And Sherman Clump himself is just a great, great movie character.
Sherman Clump is a real character.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like when Buddy Love turns up, you say, oh, there's finally Eddie Murphy. You're thinking Sherman Clump
No,
is
in
the
fact,
hero of this movie.
It's so well done that when Buddy Love shows up, you almost think, oh, that's the makeup job. You go, wait a minute, that's what Eddie Murphy actually looks like. I mean, he disappears completely into Sherman Clump.
You know, I think one of the problems with the screenplay, and I think you're right about it, is moving a movie like this through the production process is very cumbersome because every single shot has to be figured out logistically. Where is this clump going to be? Where is that clump going to be? And it's very hard to make changes involving just explaining what the story is once you've got those big production numbers, so to speak, in place.
Yeah,
so
they really are.
The story kind of meanders, but it doesn't matter because the laughs are there and they
Maybe
deliver.
too much to ask, so it's definitely a classic performance by Eddie Murphy. Okay, next movie is Wonderland, a gritty and realistic portrait of 4 20-something siblings and their aging parents in working-class London as they go through some life-changing ups and downs over a long, emotional weekend. Shot on Super 16mm film by Michael Winterbottom, the movie has such an authentic feel that you can practically smell the coffee in the diner and taste the pints of thick brew in the pubs. A pregnant Molly Parker confronts her boyfriend who has just quit his job. He's played by John Sim.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get some shopping in, okay? I'm gonna cook us a great meal. We're gonna talk, and we can talk
Meanwhile, her sister Nadia, played by Gina McKee from Notting Hill, has resorted to placing a personals ad to meet men.
My name's Pat. I'm Australian and I'm 26. I'm looking for someone who'll 5'8". Put the buzz back into my bumblebee life.
Dad, what have you been buzzing?
That's Jack Shepard as the sister's father, who it seems has been bickering with his wife for decades. They argue about everything.
That's right, yeah, that's right. You never liked anyone, did you? Always carping, eh? Always finding fault. It ain't your fault, is it? That's right down then.
Sometimes when you're watching Wonderland, you cringe as if you're overhearing the next-door neighbors arguing through paper-thin walls. But this is not some relentlessly grimy, depressing look at completely miserable people stuck in hopeless lives. There are moments of tenderness and wit and even optimism laced throughout the story. The dialogue sometimes has the rambling feel of improvisation, but Wonderland doesn't meander or grow tedious, thanks to the lively direction and the superb cast. Now, best of all, it doesn't condescend to its subject matter. It's filled with interesting characters, not easy caricatures.
Yeah, I like this movie a lot, too. And Winterbottom did an interesting thing here. His screenplay, which the author says was inspired by Robert Altman's Shortcuts, is one of a whole group of films we've seen in the last 3 or 4 years that try to keep lots of characters in the air at once and cut between them. And what he did was he used body mics for the characters, and he went into situations with just one camera, no lights, no boom, and just shot reality television, in a sense, in real locations with real people in the background, and then plugs his actors in.
And it works.
The result, it really works.
It's not just a trick, but yeah, it works really beautifully. Sometimes when they're walking down the street, you feel as if you're walking right down the street with them, and the actors maintain their focus, even though that little trickery is going on, and the 16mm thing blowing that up just gives it even more of an authentic feel.
And you're right that they're not caricatures. I mean, these are not miserable, ridiculous, exaggerated people. They are ordinary people going through an ordinary weekend in which some things happen that really kind of bring out underlying issues. It's a good film. Coming up later in the show, astronaut Clint Eastwood is on a mission to reprogram a dangerous satellite in Space Cowboys.
I'm not getting this crew killed, you included.
And coming up next, Alec Baldwin is the man in charge of Thomas and the Magic Railroad.
Now that's what I call the perfect landing.
Hey, Mr. C, why do you look so tired? Is it because I'm red? Diesel says red is a very tiring color, but Mr. C, red looks so nice against the snow. It's not me, is it?
You might have noticed there that although the train's eyes roll around in its head, the lips don't move. That's one of the strange decisions that went into Thomas and the Magic Railroad, a muddled and meandering movie based on the popular children's books from England and also the long-running PBS series about Thomas the Tank Engine. His lips don't move either, but I don't think it's a good idea. Alec Baldwin plays Mr. Conductor, who travels between the imaginary island of Sodor, which is made of miniatures and special effects, and the full-size town of Shining Time.
The journey from Shining Time keeps getting bumpier and bumpier.
Does it? A big bully Diesel is back, Mr. Conductor. You had better be careful.
The plot involves a scheme by mean-spirited diesel trains to take over from the steam engines.
Oh, I see you forgot to bring the sugar. How careless of you. Say hello to Pitchy.
Peter Fonda is also in the movie, playing the caretaker for Lady, a locomotive that controls the precious local commodity of magic dust.
Watch out for the viaduct. It's dangerous.
Now I'll get you, Burnett Stone.
No, you won't, because the magic you refuse to believe in will get the better of you.
You don't see it so much there, but Peter Fonda goes through most of this movie in what looks like a very deep depression, maybe clinical. He's depressed because he has trouble bringing Lady the locomotive back to life. I just can't make her steam, he says. Maybe he's also depressed because Thomas and the Magic Railroad seems so unsure of itself. Both Fonda and Baldwin seem stranded here in a world that never really becomes charming or magical or certainly even convincing.
Well, you know, Peter Fonda and Alec Baldwin, I'm watching these guys and thinking, what, James Woods wasn't available? I mean, the casting on this is unbelievable. And yeah, Peter Fonda seems to be in some other movie, and Alec Baldwin's trying to, I'm going to do a kid's movie now. And you mentioned about the trains and how they don't talk. Now, trains are already stuck on tracks, right? So now they're stuck immobile, sort of on tracks. They can only go this way. And
Yeah,
I mean,
their
and
eyes
that's about
go
the
around.
level of the animation on here, and with all the fun things you can do these days with modern special effects, to have these little choo-choo trains
I know.
going,
Now the lips don't move.
It's a nightmare.
The lips don't move on PBS, but maybe that's because they have a low budget. But the lips should move. I mean, either that or the eyes shouldn't move. You know, take your choice.
Well,
And
read my
Fonda,
lips. This is
now,
a bad
oddly
movie.
Enough, Fonda's performance is not bad. It's in the wrong movie. It should be in something by Eugene O'Neill.
Exactly.
He's sitting there, well, I just can't, you know, I've been here inside this mountain for all my life.
Very perplexing,
you know,
and
lady
terrible
won't
movie.
steam, and I'm just so depressed. And you're saying, you know, liven up, you know, this is for kids under 5.
Get on your chopper and ride right out of this movie, maybe. Okay. Coming up next, Clint Eastwood and his buddies head out for one last roundup in the sky in Space Cowboys.
Well, we've only waited 40 years. What do you say, Reverend Tank? You think a prayer's in order?
I was just reciting the Shepherd's Prayer. Alan Shepherd's Prayer. Oh, Lord, please don't let us screw up.
Clint Eastwood leads a team of geriatric space jockeys and their young rivals on a mission to fix a broken Russian satellite, or so they think, in Space Cowboys, a movie with a concept so high it leaves the stratosphere. Clint Eastwood and Tommy Lee Jones in grumpy old astronauts. Bingo! Let's make that sucker. Rounding out the 4 horsemen are James Garner and Donald Sutherland as 2 more lovably cranky old pilots who are recruited by Eastwood's Frank Corvin to join him on one last rocket to glory.
You don't need those, do you?
Well, no, just to read, go to movies, drive, walk, you know. Holy cow, Frank, how on earth? Am I in? Hell yeah. I can't believe it. Team Daedalus, we ride again.
Now, that's one corny setup, but how can you not root for these 2 wrinkled legends? Of course, the creaky coots have to deal with their smart-aleck young rivals, such as astronaut Lorne Dean.
You're not being very forthcoming on the workings of the guidance system. Look, kid, I've done everything short of calculus instructions to bring you up to speed on this. What do you want me to do, draw you a picture, connect all the little dots?
Excuse me, I hold 2 master's degrees from MIT, Dr. Corbin.
Well, maybe you ought to get your money back.
Yeah, that's the rule in movies like this. The old-time stars get the best lines. Sutherland has fun leering his way through the picture.
Yeah. Now, which guy is the babe magnet? I read some... Oh, that would be Jerry.
That's Jerry, yeah.
Are you the babe magnet?
I keep telling these guys it's got nothing to do with me. It depends entirely on the woman and how willing she is to discover her infinite supply of orgasms.
Space Cowboys also finds time to include an unlikely romance between the Tommy Lee Jones character and the mission director, played by Marcia Gay Harden. And in fact, the extended countdown to the mission itself nearly wears us out, though I did enjoy the banter among the Mount Rushmore cast of craggy greats. Once the ship does take off, we find out there's more to this mission than these guys were led to believe, though it wouldn't have taken a rocket scientist to figure that out. This isn't some respectful historical space adventure like Apollo 13 or The Right Stuff. It's pure fantasy adventure. And on that level, I lapped up every bit of it. Put your logic in your pocket and have a ball with Space Cowboys.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. And of course, the first part of the movie consists of 2 off-the-shelf formulas back to back. First of all, the old guy rounds up his old team, going to visit each one in their current lifestyle. And then secondly, the training, in which they have, you know, the old guys have to see if they can still get around the track and still
puffing and wheezing.
Can run the flight simulators. So those are kind of standard. And then somehow the charm of these actors not only sells that stuff, but also kind of takes over. And then you get into outer space, and it gets kind of interesting. It really does. So the movie kind of has a payoff.
Well, the special effects are really impressive, although, I mean, some of it's like right out of Dr. Strangelove. It's so implausible, some of the stuff that goes on in space. But yeah,
I bought it.
And you like these guys so much. How could you not root for these
The
guys?
last shot in the movie, I'm not going to give it away. You know what I'm thinking?
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones? Totally implausible. Think about it.
Of course.
Completely implausible.
Of course.
Okay. Our next movie is Girl on the Bridge, another weirdly seductive movie about sexual obsession from Patrice Leconte, who made Monsieur Here about voyeurism, and The Hairdresser's Husband about a man who is obsessed with his wife, the hairdresser. And now we meet an aging but romantic knife thrower who recruits the endangered damsels for his act by hanging around bridges in Paris, spotting girls who are about to jump off and asking them what they have to lose by working for a knife thrower.
Passé la quarantaine, le lancer de couteau devient aléatoire. C'est pour ça que je recrute sur les ponts. J'aime bien rendre service.
That's Vanessa Paradis, Johnny Depp's real-life partner as the girl on the bridge, and Daniel Auteuil as her rescuer. Together, the 2 travel Europe as knife throwing provides a Freudian reflection for their repressed sexual attraction.
See your soul another day. What can never be lost is gone.
LeCompte's characters are never matter-of-fact. There's always something fanciful and nonsensical about them, and sometimes something a little sad.
Écartez les pieds. Voilà, stop.
Ah, elle, vous lui avez porté chance?
Non, non, je lui ai porté secours. C'était la femme canon. Elle se faisait éjecter à 100 mètres. Un jour, le tir a été dévié. Elle m'est tombée dessus. Sans moi, elle serait morte.
Comme moi, alors, vous sauvez tout le monde.
Non, pas comme vous.
All of LeCompte's films are about men who worship a very specialized manifestation of their women. Monsieur here wants to watch. The hairdresser's husband is never happier than when he's assisting in the hairdressing salon. And this guy wants to throw knives. All three men are sad because they really do love these women and regret the fact that they can only approach them in such limited ways. Girl on the Bridge is deeply romantic, and like all the great romances, it's not about what has been gained, but about what has been lost. Incidentally, at times it's also very funny in its own quiet and weird way.
Even though it's a strange theme, this older knife thrower and this young, beautiful woman, it does have a lot of humor. And I just had a smile on my face watching it, just because it was unique and different. I love the fact that it's in black and white. It really serves this story. It's got that silvery look to it, which kind of adds to the feeling that these two can communicate even when they're not in the same area together. And just on every level, something different, something fresh, and I guess that's why I was smiling as I was watching.
Well, I like black and white better than color anyway, a lot of the time, and especially in something like this, which is sort of a fantasy and sort of dreamlike, and it gives you that kind of dream feeling. And also, it's funny when you just stop to think about a guy and a girl who meet because, you know, since she's going to commit suicide anyway, why not work for a knife thrower, you know, and then she can at least make some money while she's dying.
Thank God he's a good knife thrower most of the time.
The fact that they both seem to be well matched, and that when he's throwing the knives at her, they both get kind of a sexual thing out of it, and the movie doesn't dwell on that. It just kind of has it as a little, you know, kind of a side wink, and this movie really grows on you.
Yeah, I love the trick with the sheet too, the knife thrower with the sheet stuff. Good stuff, really good stuff. Okay, coming up next, my video pick of the week is a chilling ghost story.
Roger Ebert in the Movies Video Pick of the Week is brought to you by Nestle Raisinets. At the movies or at home, Raisinets.
If you're looking for an intelligent ghost story, forget about what lies beneath and check out Stir of Echoes, my video pick this week. There's a somewhat similar theme at work here. A ghost tries to make contact with the living world, not to scare someone, but to solve a mystery, but it's done with much more style and suspense. Kevin Bacon is Tom, a working-class guy in Chicago who gets more than he bargained for when he's hypnotized by his sister-in-law, played by Ileana Douglas.
You're almost close enough to read the letters now. They start to come into focus. The letters spell sleep. Sleep.
What the hell was that?
Once the door has been opened, Tom can't shut it. He starts having premonitions about his neighbors.
Hey, you want to see what I've got?
Sure. That's great. Is that one of your dads?
Not today. Come here.
Well, why don't you just put the gun away at him?
Come on, man. Come here.
Oh, I don't know. Those things make me kind of nervous.
And this will make you really nervous.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't do that. Don't do that. Tom eventually comes to realize that the ghost who visits him in his dreams has a message for him about a neighborhood tragedy, and he becomes obsessed with solving this puzzle, even as his family and friends are convinced he's losing his mind. Now, I like the idea of a ghostly presence trapped between the real world and the spirit world who needs the help of a non-believing regular guy so she can literally rest in peace. Stir of Echoes is a tightly woven chiller, and it's my video pick of the week.
Now let's take another look at the movies we reviewed on this week's show. 2 thumbs up for Nutty Professor 2, The Clumps, with Eddie Murphy, very funny in the sequel to the 1996 blockbuster. 2 more thumbs up for Wonderland, the gritty, realistic story of a London family. 2 thumbs down, though, for Thomas and the Magic Railroad, the children's movie that never picks up steam. 2 thumbs up, though, for Clint Eastwood's Space Cowboys, Old Guys in Orbit. It opens next week. And finally, 2 more thumbs up for the deeply romantic and weirdly funny Girl on the Bridge. So, look for Clumps and Cowboy.
Yeah, I like the old guys, and Eddie Murphy is hilarious.
He really is. Murphy, I'll say it again, he deserves more credit.
That's true. Now remember, you can hear our reviews at ebert-movies.com and read us at suntimes.com. Next week, we'll be back with reviews of more new movies, including Hollow Man, starring Kevin Bacon as a scientist who makes himself invisible.
So, what's it like being a ghost?
Ghost or dead, I'm very much alive.
And Coyote Ugly, a contemporary love story about urban cowgirls.
The devil's in the house of the rising sun.
That's next week, and until then, the balcony is closed.
It's Jennifer Convertibles and Jennifer Leather's 26th anniversary sale with 26% off on 26 items throughout our stores. Come celebrate at all Jennifer showrooms.
Between the urinary tract infection and the visit to the doctor, get Azo, the #1 name in UTI symptom relief.
A house is not a home until it's safe. The Brinks home security system, just $99 installed. Call 1-800-GO-BRINKS.
Nair removes facial hair as easy as 1, 2, 3. With Nair 3-in-1 brush-on cream. Feel how good you look.
Closed captioning for Roger Ebert in the Movies is brought to you by...
When I drive with this little guy, I drive with confidence because I trust my brakes to Meineke.
At Meineke, you'll get a lot, but you won't pay a lot.